Today I'll be talking about my recent painting, which is titled 5 p.m. in Abuja. So this is probably the most interesting painting I've ever made, and as you can see, there's a lot going on in the piece. So let's start with the title. Now 5 p.m. is actually the time that a lot of offices close, civil servants they close. So by 5 p.m. on the weekday, you're going to see a lot of people on the streets, and so by 5 p.m. they're mostly like going home, or people are just going home. So starting with this bus now, this bus is probably the most safest means of public transport in Abuja. If you don't have a lot of money, it's best to enter this bus. And as you can see, there is this guy standing in front of the bus and his hands is raised up. So this guy is called the conductor. So one tip I'll give you if you're entering this bus is, if you don't know the price of where you're going to, just don't ask the conductor. Better to ask the passenger. I made the mistake and asked the conductor once. I ended up paying 800 while the rest of the passengers paid 500. So if you don't know the price of where you're going and you're in Abuja and you're new in Abuja, when you are entering this bus, just ask the passengers and not the conductor. You get why? So speaking about this bus, the bus is a whole experience on its own. And if you've never entered this bus, I would encourage you to enter the bus. I call it the marketer's bus. When you enter, you go know why. So now, as you can see, the conductor's gaze is towards these people. Now these people are called coppers. That's their popular name. So they are doing their NYSC COP. They are serving the nation. So as we all know, the alawi of coppers, they really should do anything. No. So for a copper to survive, they have to follow this bus. And then there is another really interesting thing that you can see. So this is a white Toyota truck, and you can see there behind it, these are not load, these are actually people. They've closed from work and they're actually going towards Maraba axis. Now there are at least 15 people that are squished like that at the back of the truck. I'm telling you, the first time I saw this was in 2023, and it was not so like rampant. I didn't used to see it, but recently I've been seeing it more frequently. And sometimes when I see it, I'm like, what if someone farts, or I don't know, if rain start falling, this is how they will be squeezed. And they're driving from Banex to Maraba. So if they are going on that trip is supposed to be like at most 30 minutes. But now, because of the timing and there are lots of vehicle by that 5 p.m. now, there's going to be hold up on the road. So, and then aside from the hold up, then passengers are going to be dropping one by one. So that 30 minutes trip now can even take up to even 1 hour for them to be on the road like this, and these people will be squeezed like this till they reach their destination. Well, I'll be like minimum wage, or when we should do anything. So yeah, those are the major points in this painting. So I just really wanted to capture the Abuja scene, not from the rich perspective but from the everyday man. And as you can see in the background, there are some sketches of, I didn't really want to make I wanted to focus more on the people, so I did the sketches of the tree, and they signify those really long, tall, they're very slim and tall. They're pencil like trees. I don't know the name of those trees, but they're quite rampant in Abuja. The first time I saw those trees, I was like, what kind of tree is this? And it's not a very good shade, but I don't know why they plant it every time, and when the wind blows it's always bowing, and so yeah. So also the sky is quite bright. This is not the 5 p.m. sky. So while I was making this piece, from the reference I could not see the sky, so I went outside, and this sky, I painted it directly from, the natural sky that I was seeing outside, and that was around 12 p.m. So yeah, everybody else in the painting, they are just, going home, and this is the message behind the 5 p.m. painting. Thank you so much for listening.